welcome back to Missing the Misses. I'm Shatara.
I'm Elise. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe below.
Yes, guys, welcome back. So, about a year ago today, this is when we kind of, around the time we got started with our first video.
Our first
because
video
we were talking about Mother's Day. So we're not going to go into the stories, about moms fighting on the west side and in mud pits. We're not doing that this time.
But shout out to y'all.
Yes,
Happy
Mother's Day, everybody. We love y'all. We appreciate you, moms, grandmas, aunties, friends, cousins, everybody. We love and appreciate y'all.
Yes, I definitely
do.
So today we are going to, it's on my phone. Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
We are going to talk about this. It's not a meme. It's like just this picture of something somebody wrote, and I reposted it on Facebook. Yeah.
Why are you thinking? Because you did post it on Facebook.
I did because it's a lot of that is very, very true. So the picture, we'll put the picture up here, but it's a picture of a mom sitting in a chair, kind of with her head down, with a chain linked to her baby, and the baby is sitting in a car seat.
Yeah. But it almost looked like it's like chained, but kind of like in a prison type.
Yeah.
Like ball, like just can't go nowhere.
Like
always
can't do nothing because you've had this baby.
Yeah.
And when I first saw the picture, I was like, whoa. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to feel like that. So that's what made me read it, because I was like, dang. But I don't feel like that anymore, thank God. That's a rough feeling.
It says, after having a child, I realized that in the eyes of society, mothers can't complain because who told you to have kids? Cry. Why are you crying? Didn't you think it was easy? Getting tired of what? You do nothing. That's crazy. Sleep, you're lazy. Rest, you'll have plenty of time for that after they grow up. Getting pregnant again. Are you crazy? How many more kids do you want? Quitting work. How will you support your child? Work. Who will take care of your child? Leave them at the nursery. Don't let other people raise your kids. Being a housewife. Poor husband works too hard and his wife stays at home. Being single. Nobody want a woman with kids. Going out for fun. Why are you leaving your son with grandma to have fun? And you know what's worse? 90% of these phrases are spoken by other women. Let's learn to be more supportive of each other. I'm human and I love my kids, but I'm guilty of all these emotions at some point.
I have been. And at first I read this like, dang, like all of this. I feel like as a mom, I have went through all of these emotions before. And it's just rough because most of the time, it comes from people who you love and who you believe love you. And you just be like, dang, okay. But when I first had my daughter, my parents still lived here. So I just was like, if I had to work, she was over there. If I wanted to go somewhere, she was over there. And I felt like I could take her to them without feeling guilty. Because they loved having her there. And my mom is a homebody, so she okay with it. Like, she loves her grandbabies. So she was okay with my baby being there all the time. When my mom moved away, and I would want to go do something, I would feel bad about it. Like, I would feel bad about asking somebody to watch her. Or I would, have to plan, well, I asked her last time, so I'm going to ask her. Or if I did go out, I would be like, okay, let me not stay out too late because I don't want to, feel bad about picking her up late or inconveniencing people and all of that. Like, I would feel bad about it. Or I just wouldn't do certain things because I didn't want people to be like, well, why she going out? Why she doing this? Why you think you get to have fun because you got a baby? Stuff like that. Like, you really do go through all those emotions and you just like, well, dang, I know I got a baby, but dang, I can't still live my life. And I had to grow out of that, but that comes from a place of always wanting to please people. It comes from a place of always wanting people to feel some kind of way about you in a positive light and in a good way. Like, you don't want to give anybody a reason to judge you, or you don't want to give anybody a reason to feel like they should say something to you or about you that's going to make you feel bad for going to have fun and leaving your baby somewhere. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a very, very, very small list of people who can watch my baby, and the list has always been small. So it would just get to the point, right, where I would just be like, I just want to go. Like, if everybody's busy, and that's fine, because it's the weekend. People do get busy. People have other things to do. But I mean, you do have that guilt, and it's like mom guilt. So it goes from like, well, I don't want to bother people or inconvenience people. Then I grew out of that, and it goes from, well, I don't want her to feel like I'm not spending time with her. Even though I do, like, I always do things with her. So then it became like, I don't want her to feel like I'm just dropping her off or not spending time with her or not doing this, not doing that. And then I grew out of that. And now it's like her wanting to go do things. And I'll be like, dang, okay, I'm not cool enough for you no more. She'll be like, well, Mom, yeah, but, and I'm like, okay.
The cycle, the life cycle.
But it's just like reading that made me feel bad, because some people really go through this on a daily basis, and a lot of people can't get out of it. Like, I got out of it because of who I am, but a lot of people don't have that in them.
So when you say who you are, or who you are, what about you makes you overcome something like that?
I think it's the way I was raised. Like, I was raised in a home with love. Like, I was raised by parents who did not judge us. Like, me and my brother was having a conversation a couple weeks ago. He was going through some things, and he was just venting to me about his kids and stuff, and I'm just like, and one thing he said was like, I don't want mommy and daddy to be mad at me. And I'm like, when has mommy and daddy ever gotten mad at us? Like, when have they ever judged us? Like, never. Like, no matter what we've done, how bad it was, how terrible we thought it was, never. Like, they always had our backs. They always helped us get through whatever it was we was dealing with, whatever it is we did. Even when we was wrong in the situation, like, we never was like judged like that. So I think that, like, me coming from a place of feeling guilt or feeling like I don't want people to be upset with me or talk about me or whatever that is, that was my own insecurities, because I was like weak in that moment, because I felt like I needed people, and I didn't want to do something that was going to push people away when I would need them again. You know what I mean? So I know I'm a strong person, and I think that's where it comes from. That's how I know how to get myself out of a hole, because I have faith in God. So it's like, I mean, do I have times where I'm weak, when I'm like giving up and not believing in God, not having my faith in God and putting it in Him? Definitely.
Because we human.
Exactly. So sometimes I have to snap out of it. And I have to pray, and I have to let it go. And I'm somebody, I journal and I write things down, and I'll be like, okay, once I write this down, I gotta let it go. And so it even gets to the point sometimes where I won't write it down because I'm not ready to let it go. And then I'm sitting there like, why am I not ready to let it go? Like, why do I torture myself like this? I don't know. But like, the older I get, the better I get with those things.
Of letting stuff go.
Absolutely. Because it's just not worth it. Like, it takes away your peace. You have so much stress and anxiety. And I always come through on the other end. And then I always be like, why did I do that to myself? So now I'm to a place where I don't do that to myself. And I'm going to be me unapologetically. And it's like, there's going to be people who don't always love you. There's going to be people who aren't always for whatever it is you're doing. There's going to always be people who don't support you, or whatever the case may be. And that's okay. But I had to learn that about myself, because it was hard. It's hard. I mean, even with dating, I used to be like, nobody want no kid. And it's like, and you're right, some people don't. And that's fine. But let me know that's what you don't want. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody with 1 million kids. I don't want somebody with multiple baby mamas. Like,
Right.
I don't
Your
want to
preference is okay.
Exactly.
Whatever
That's
your
your
preference is.
preference. If you want a woman without kids, that's absolutely fine. Because I don't want a man with 3 or 4 baby mamas.
And reading this, it at the end when it said most of it comes from other women, and that's the part that I find obviously from the outside looking in, like, okay, but even women without kids can sometimes do that to women with kids.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that's who it comes from.
And it's just like, but that's why are you worried about something that ain't even got nothing to do with you? And it's like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think that's me. I don't think I've ever shown that or questioned you or questioned any of my friends. So I can say that that's not me.
No,
but I feel like it's not your business. Like, you kind of don't know. And even with my mom had time away or will go do things without us. And when I grew up, I realized, okay, she needed to get away. Mm-hmm. Not only is she dealing with 2 kids, and she dealing with her husband too. And not saying I don't know what may have been going on, but you kind of need to get away. So I guess that not judging, like, I'll call you, like, can Bae come over this weekend? You know what I mean? Because I can kind of from the outside looking in, okay, it's getting a little tense with them too.
right.
It's getting a little tense. Bring the girl over. But so when it comes from other women, that is sad, especially if you're not in that position.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, I see it, but you kind of like, I'll speak for me. I don't understand it fully, but I could support you. And I think it needs to come from a place of support and not judgment.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think even like the mothers in my life, as the few friends that are mothers, I think it's important for me to be their tribe, like a part of their tribe, to be there to support. But yeah, even when we go back when Bailey was like around 1, like you dropped her off and was like, here, get to know her. And this was before we kind of like realized your parents was really up out of here.
I know.
So like the transition happened so smoothly.
It did.
We didn't expect them to leave like that.
I used to be like, here go your guy, baby. Yes. And I would be out.
And in my mind, I've always thought, oh, she must need a break. You know what I mean? It was never to be like, oh, she don't want her baby. And I think that's, so for somebody who don't have kids, I think that's weird for women to think like that. With no kids. I'm talking about with no kids.
I know.
I think that's weird.
It comes from a place of people with no kids, and you be like, you don't even have children. Yeah. So it kind of blows my mind.
And we're not talking about the women who really don't take care of their kids.
Right. I mean, because we know there's women out there like that who legit be dropping their kids off and they be out here looking like a 10 and your baby need her hair done. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that's never me. That's
right. So we're not talking about that.
Me.
But from this aspect of it, the women who really take care of their kids, I mean, it's admirable or admirable. It's, it is.
But it's just sad that women treat other women like that, whether they have kids or not, or just people treating other women like that. Just don't. Like, being a mom is hard. And I mean, like, it's not always hard, of course, but it is hard, and it's just, it shouldn't have to come from other people like that. Like, you should always feel supported, and it's hard when you don't feel supported.
The bashing.
And I've never felt like you never supported me or my sister or stuff like that. So don't think like people in my small circle, don't think that I've ever felt like I wasn't supported. That was coming from my own insecurities and my own being a single woman with a baby. Like, that was my own internal battle that I had to deal with. Especially after my mama left, because when my parents was here, I felt like, like, I'm good. Like, they got me. Whatever. I need to work these extra shifts. I'm gonna go work. She'll go with them.
You did work a lot, though.
I did. Worked. Which is why
it ain't like you was always running the street. Exactly, it wasn't like you was running the street and doing all of that. Yeah.
But then when they left, I'm like, oh, they really moving? My mama really leaving me here with this baby? Like, what?
Yeah. It seemed like it happened so fast.
I feel like it did too, even though, like, for a couple years we knew it was coming, but it just wasn't real. But now it's nice that she can go to Georgia for the summer. I can live my best life.
Lord.
I love you though, baby. I love you, Bailey.
That is too funny. Yeah. But I think when it's time for her to go for the summer, we all be like, okay, bye.
Bye.
But nah.
But then after like a few weeks, we be like, baby can come home now. But I mean, I just think it's important to have a support system. I mean, even my friends who have husbands and stuff, I'm like, you know, she can always come over here. If you need a break, she can always come over here. So, I mean, because I get it. I mean, it's not always about, like, whether you're a single mom or you're married and have a husband to help you, sometimes you just need to get away from your child. Like,
and I think it makes, I think it makes better moms or parents because my mom could take those times, and my mom is a praying woman. Take those times even to just go pray or for a drive. You can kind of notice the difference. You to kind of just refresh.
You just
know
need
what
to
I mean?
breathe.
Yeah.
And not worry about feeding somebody, putting somebody in the bed, giving somebody a bath. Like, literally just worry about you for a second. And
but you know, like the airplane, you got to put your mask on first before, trying to take care of somebody else. You have to make sure y'all good.
You're right. Because when I get in that mode where I'm like, every little thing she do starts to annoy me, I'm like, Shishi, what you doing this weekend? And it's just because I don't want to be mean to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it'll get to a point where she's like, Mommy, and I'm like, what? And I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to answer you like that. But it's because it's getting to a place where there's other stressors in life. And then you're taking it out on your baby. And you shouldn't. And it's not fair to them because they really had nothing to do with any of the things you're dealing with at that moment. So you do need to take that time to yourself. And then, I mean, even if it's a couple hours, just to refresh and be like, okay, I'm good now. But when I read that, I just was like, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, dang, did they have to chain her to the baby like that?
Yeah, well, wait till they see the picture. Well, y'all will see the picture, but I know that was just like
rough. I was like,
but I think, like you said, it kind of goes back to knowing who you are and having a good support system.
Yeah.
Because like women gonna talk anyway, unfortunately, about each other or do things. We kind of want to get away from that, but we human, and there's something about everybody that we can say something about.
Yeah.
But you just gotta know who you are and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they literally act in the picture. It just seemed like she was in a prison.
Like you just stuck.
Yeah. Like, and if you think about it, when you listen to all the noise on the outside, you will put yourself in a mental prison. Because then you'll start trying to live up to everybody else's expectation of you. Instead of, raising your child and taking care of her and then taking time out for yourself the way you want to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You don't have to live up to nobody's expectations. You really don't need nobody else's validation as long as you good and your child good.
Right. Yeah. But y'all gotta see the picture. It was just, I mean, and honestly, when I first saw the picture, I laughed because I was like, why they chain her to this baby like this? And then I was like, this is sad. Like, why did they chain her to this baby like this? And
but it sounds like it covers all the emotions. It covers like everything that you could think of.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel bad for women who do feel like they chained to their baby like that because that's not healthy. Like, it's not healthy. And it's kind of sad, actually. So I do feel bad for people who don't have people they can turn to when they need, because that's kind of depressing. But I pray for women who need support. I pray for single mamas. It's not easy. I pray for all mamas. It's not easy. It's not easy, but I mean, it's so rewarding too. Like, I enjoy small things with my baby. Like, even she done started her hybrid schedule, and even on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'd be so ready to pick her up at 1 o'clock. She only be gone for 4 hours, and I'd be ready like, oh, okay, she can come
couldn't
home
get away
now.
for her to go to school.
I'm like, when y'all gonna let them come back to the building? And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go pick my baby up. But it's a joy. Being a mom is a joy. So I'm just thankful for my support system. I'm thankful for you and Alonzo. And remind me to tell you a story about her. And I'm thankful for my parents, my siblings, and I'm thankful for your mama too, cause y'all, that's her baby. Lord, but happy Mother's Day.
Yes, guys, happy Mother's Day. I'm thankful for my mom. I know I mentioned earlier that my mom is a praying mom, and this last year, I think like right before the pandemic started, so it's been well over a year now, she has started praying every morning I think their prayer line is at 5 a.m. They have a conference call, and I can feel like her praying for me sometimes. I can feel like she'll be like, oh, we was praying for you, Alonzo, this morning. I can kind of feel it. Like, you kind of know when somebody's praying for you. Yeah. So I'm grateful to have a mom and a grandmother and my aunt who really does pray for me, and my and they're our mom, so happy Mother's Day. Who does pray for me like that? Yeah. I'm blessed to have somebody praying for me, because I know it's their prayers that have kept me. I remember one time, this was when I was in college. I remember my grandma called me, and this was like, we had cell phones, of course. Like, I mean, we ain't that old, but cell phones, it wasn't like you just had to have it, like, during our college time or whatever, you know? So I had a phone in my dorm room, so the landline to get to my dorm room. And I remember one time my grandma, and I was hardly ever in my dorm room. Mm-hmm. And it was like during a time where I probably wouldn't have normally been there. And I was actually getting ready to go out to a party. And my grandma called my dorm room, and she was like, you don't need to go to this party tonight. She was like, you don't got to go everywhere all the time. And I was just like, okay, Mom, you know. She was like, no. She was like, you probably shouldn't just go tonight. And so I was still getting dressed to go. And so the people that we were going with, he wound up getting shot in the leg that night, and they were shooting. But we would have been together. And it's just, like, I'm just so grateful to have a grandmother that prays. You know what I mean? And even though I was still going to go, it just kind of, I don't know what happened. It just kind of worked out that we didn't go. Yeah. But I was still on my head to go. And, like, because of prayers, like, God just intervened. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just never know. But, you know, I'm just grateful. To my happy Mother's Day. I mean, you're an amazing mom.
Thanks,
like, it's good. I've seen you evolve.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that is really special, and it's rare to see, like, you grow into motherhood the way that you have.
Yeah.
And I know you ain't gonna be single for long, but for right now, just to see you handle it by yourself, like, you doing it. And, you know, my other friends, happy Mother's Day. I was just trying to think about it, because, you know, I really hate leaving people out.
But happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all, because we did that last year. Y'all, last year on our first video, remember we had to re-record?
Yes,
and I was like,
we was giving names.
We was dropping names. And we was like, oh my God, I forgot this person or this person. But we love all of y'all. Like, y'all are doing an amazing job. We thank y'all for y'all support and loving us back. Miss Her, I love you. Oh my God. I was going to say something. She is so, we have a good time when we together, and I'm in Georgia. We have a good time talking, okay? At that kitchen table, okay?
Girl, that kitchen table.
I love you. I appreciate you. I mean, your mom been in my life most of my life at this point.
For real.
But, yeah, we love you guys. But, yeah,
we
I'm
love
so
you
proud
guys.
of you. I mean, I don't know. Don't what?
Oh, I thought you was finna start name dropping people.
No, I'm not gonna name drop.
Don't. It's too many. We know too many moms.
Yeah, and they good
people
moms.
who are mom figures.
Yeah.
So we just can't do that. So just know that we love y'all. We appreciate all of y'all. Y'all are all great moms.
Yep.
So.
See what I'm saying?
I ain't doing it. My peeps, y'all better know I love y'all.
Right, but no, my aunties, like my aunties, all of them, like my grandma, like I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. Immediate. Oh, my mother-in-law, I cannot forget about her.
Yes.
But yeah, she got a birthday coming up too. Happy birthday, Miss Daisy.
Happy birthday, Miss Daisy, girl.
Okay, y'all, but yeah, that was a good read. I did enjoy reading that. I'm glad that you over all of that, but you know, it's good to see you just confident in who you are.
Thank
and
you,
I think
girl.
that just makes the difference, period. Just knowing who you are with whatever that you're facing and not letting the outside noise get in you and affect your spirit from some hating people or insecure people. Okay?
Tell them shy. Sorry. All
right, me. All right, y'all, we gotta